Okay, so we're here in the winery. It's the time when Derek's going to put together all those final blends of his for his Reserve Chardonnay. So I always think this is a really exciting time. It's the very first time that he's pulled all the Chardonnay out from these barrels and blended it together. So what we do when we make our oak Chardonnay is obviously we pick the fruit in sort of late January, early February. We do it in small batches. We start the ferment. Then while it's fermenting, we actually he pumps it into all these different barrels, okay? And then they'll continue their ferment in there, and then we age them in that oak over, about 9 months, isn't it? 10? Yeah, about 9 months they're in there for. And I feel that this is the part of the winemaker as an artist. This is when he's got to pick that fruit, taste the grapes, make the initial juice, and work out how much oak that fruit can handle. With wines, you're always trying to get them in balance. So you want the fruit versus the oak, but you really want them to work well together and to balance each other out. You don't want the oak to overpower the fruit or vice versa. And so he's got to taste that fruit, he's got to taste that juice, and then he's got to work out how much oak he thinks it can handle. So what he's done this year is he's got these barrels. Now, some of them are brand new, some of them are 1-year-old barrels, and some of them are 2 years old. What that means is that we're going to get a different amount of oak flavour in each of these barrels from we're going to get a different amount of oak flavour in the wine from each of these barrels. So the brand new barrels will give you a lot of oak flavour. The 1-year-old oak barrels just half as much, and then the 2-year-old barrels kind of a quarter of your original amount of oak. So that's how it works. So he's got to, as I say, balance that fruit and oak. But once he's put all the wines in these barrels, they age up, and things don't go wrong, but they can go wrong. So you've got to keep checking them. So we will actually check these barrels every 2 weeks. We'll top them up with a bit more Chardonnay. So because obviously an oak barrel is not a perfect seal, so we get evaporation. We lose about 200 mils a fortnight typically. It can be more in hotter times and less when it's cooler. Just evaporating out, seeping out through the oak staves. So we top them up so that the wine is always fresh, but what's happening is you're getting a really controlled oxidation or maturation of your wine inside these barrels. So they're getting air contact, but it's controlled, so it's not too much of it. So after 9 months, he's obviously been trying them all the way through, checking that they're okay. He's ready then to start to put together what we call the final blend. So he'll taste each of the barrels, and then he'll check that they're okay, and then he'll what we call do a bench trial. So he'll get a bit of, 200 mils from each of the barrels, and then he'll put that blend together and just check that he might not use all the barrels in his Reserve Chardonnay. He might decide that one barrel's not good enough, or, anyway, there's sort of a filtering process that goes on. That's the artist bit. So once he's put that blend together, then he'll put it out of all the barrels, put it in tank, and then we'll start to just clean it up. But what he's done is just been putting that blend together, and I've got some of the final blend. I haven't had this yet. I'm really excited. I am an oak Chardonnay drinker. Not everybody is, and that's fine. You just leave the rest for us that are. And I just think this is a great, great wine. So it's in a big jug. We're in the winery. Everything's, man-sized. I thought I'd better get myself a big glass. So this is looking fantastic. Really oaky. I mean, it's new, it's brand new. It's 2020 vintage, this one, and we haven't bottled it yet. So there's lots of oaky flavour. So the plan now will be to, I don't know if you can really see it. Oh, actually, it looks more cloudy on film than it does in reality. It's a little bit cloudy. So if you were making an orange wine, you would just leave it like that. So it's basically unfiltered. We won't. We will sort of clean it up, clarify it, and filter it so that it will be that sort of crisp, fresh, clear looking wine, how you sort of imagine wine, but it still looks beautiful. As I say, it smells really, really oaky, lots of sort of peach and melon flavours bursting out. What we're going to do is bottle this probably within the next month or so, and then we will leave it in bottle for a while. We like to age it for a bit longer in bottle. And that's just a slower aging process than in barrel, but if we leave them in barrel any longer, it's going to get too oaky, so then you will get the oak overpowering the fruit. So when you're trying to balance your wine out, it's a bit of a competition, so you want to have enough fruit flavour to handle the oak, but also, when it's finished, and you've got to get it out. So you could obviously take it out and just leave it in tank, but we prefer to get it bottled as soon as possible, and then it will age slowly and gently and gradually in bottle before we release it to you. So This one I'm afraid you can't drink yet, but yeah, it's just exciting to see what happens kind of behind the scenes when we're making these. So that's, I suppose we're 6/8, 3/4 of the way through now making our Reserve Chardonnay.